Hi everyone. In today's lesson, we're going to be working on 2.3 Energy Skatepark Lab Simulation. For this lab, we are going to be needing a computer and the packet that you can pick up by the door. When you open up your computer, if you don't have your computer, you can work with a partner who does. Go ahead and type in this link here. It is bit.ly/Watkins Skate SK8 Park. So 2 S's back to back. If it's not working, just double check your spelling. All right. Once you open up that link, it will take you to a page that looks like this, where I click on Intro. And what we're going to try to do is we're going to try to set it up to match the picture that's on your paper. So you can see we have several different settings here that we want to enable. I'm going to open up the grid so I can see the different distances and the heights. I'm going to open up my energy bar chart. If you remember our LOL diagrams, it's one part of that. I'm going to open up the speed so I can see the velocity of my skater. If I want, I can change who my skater is, right? I'm going to use the little dog. All right, so what we're going to do is we're going to start by placing our skater at the 6 meter mark. All right, so we're essentially going to place him right there. And what we want to do is we're going to want to hit the pause button as well, because we want to see what type of energy they have when they are just right at the top of the half pipe before they start moving. All right, so I'm going to hit pause. I'm going to place my skater over there, and you can see as I start moving them up and down, I start to see energy in my energy bar charts change. All right, so I want to get them right at the top of the half pipe. Again, it's still paused, and I can look at what type of energy I have. Okay. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to fill in this first chart, right? My little doggy skater is at the 6 meter mark. So I'm going to indicate what type of energy they have, right? I'm going to use 2 different colors here, right? I have all potential. And when I look at my diagram, the amount of potential energy I have is equal to the total energy I have. All right, next, I'm going to move my little doggy. I'm going to hit play. I'm going to actually turn it on slow because what I'm going to need to do is I'm going to need to pause my dog when he gets to the 4 meter mark. Here, I pause it here. This other little play button here allows you to just kind of do slow steps forward. All right. That's good. All right. Now what we're looking for is we're looking for what changed, right? What changed? How did potential energy change? Did we get any other forms of energy? Did total energy change? What I'm going to do is I'm going to indicate those changes here in my chart. Now, you'll notice there's no numbers in your chart. Right? So everything is just meant to be a little bit proportional. You notice my total energy didn't change. However, my potential did get lower. Right? And I did introduce some kinetic. So the key thing here is that whatever my total energy is, my kinetic and my potential added together should equal my total. So for example, here I have 3 units of kinetic, 5 units of potential, 3 plus 5 equals 8 units of total energy. So what I do is I'm going to continue that for the 2 meter mark, right? How did energy change, right? I'll indicate that on my paper. And then same thing for when my little doggy is all the way at the bottom. All right, and then I have some analysis questions. Right? Now for these, I'm just circling, right? Whatever I think the right answer is, I'm just circling them, right? For each of question 1, 2, 3, 4. Right. On the next page, I'm going to be looking at, okay, what is the energy of my skater as they're now going up the ramp? Right, so you notice 0 meters up is going to be the same as 0 meters down. So whatever I have here should equal what I have here. Right? It's the same position. Right? And then I'm looking at what type of energy does my dog have as they're at the 2 meter mark. Go backwards. Yeah, if you miss your position, you can always just start it over again. Okay, this is 2 meters up. Again, I'll write that. And then same thing for 4 meters up. I'll copy that down. Look at my energy. And then same thing for 6 meters up. So all the way there at the top. And this is going to be the same or different than when your dog first started, or your skater first started. All right, part 2, what we're going to look at is how is speed changing. Right. So again, what we're looking at here is we're looking at what is the speed shown in the low speedometer there. So I can just start here. So I'm at the 6 meter mark. I'm going to just restart them. So my speed is 0. That's what I'd indicate. Okay. Notice what's happening to the speed of my doggy. Now they're about 6.1. Now further. 8.7. Now you may get different numbers than me if you're using a different skater. So don't just copy what I'm doing. Make sure you're doing it yourself. There, and then you can keep filling it out. Same thing, we have some analysis questions, 5 through 8. Again, this is just circling what you think the correct answer is based on your observations. All right, part 3. Now we're going to be looking at some more specific changes in energy. All right, so in your simulation, we're actually going to go down to the very bottom, and you'll notice there's 4 tabs. There's the intro tab, measure, graphs, playground. We're going to go to the measure one. All right. And so same thing, we're going to kind of set it up so that we can see the speed and the grid. I'm going to turn on the grid, right? That allows me to see the different heights. I'm also going to turn on speed. One thing we're going to try to do is we're actually going to increase the height of our ramp. So I want to kind of maintain a U shape, but if I click on the red dot here, I'm going to move it all the way up to the 8 meter mark. So still a U shape, but now it's just a little bit taller. Right. So what we're going to try to do is we're going to start by placing our skater at the 4 meter mark. Now what we want to do is we want to look at what is their speed when they reach the bottom, because that's going to be their maximum speed. All right. When they start at the 4 meter mark, the maximum speed that they got to is going to be 8.8. Now, reset. Now you're going to move them up to the 5 meter mark. Same thing, let them go. And then the 6 meter mark, 7 meter mark, 8 meter mark. And here, You can also look at how much energy and velocity they had at each of these markings. All right. For part 4, what we're going to do is we're actually change the shape of the track. Right. Over on the right, you'll see there's different shapes. We're going to look for the shape that has a W shape. All right. So you should get a track that looks like this. All right. So using this track and using your simulation, right, we have points A, B, C, D. We want to answer these questions, right? As your skater moves through, right, you'll notice we get a little bit of a motion map, right? Kind of where they are each second. And you can use this little measuring device to try and figure out what type of energy they have at each of these points. Right? And use it to help you answer those questions. Right, for the first question, right, at point A up here, right, what type of energy is at the highest point? Okay, continue moving through those questions. Again, you're just circling the right answers, whatever you think it is. All right, part 5. For this one, same thing, but now it's a loop-de-loop. Okay. All right, and finally, before the announcements go on,
Good morning, Cardinals.
you're going to be able to go down, do the playground, play around with it, and answer the questions.